Hello, SolarLune here. Hi, and welcome to another stream, another game development stream for the Godot game that I'm working on. I Know Who I Am. It is a 2D top-down adventure game, character adventure game in the style of RPG Maker games, and it's going pretty well. So hello to the chat. How's everyone doing today? And also the comments if you're watching this later. Hello to everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do here, last time we left off, we were kind of working on a pathfinding system. I put in quite a bit of time in thinking about how exactly to approach this concept, because basically it's a little bit different, but at the same time I don't want to spend too much time on it to the point where it's, you know, restricting development, further development on other parts of the game. So I'll see if I can get it done by this stream, or just if I can work on it maybe a little bit here on this stream, and then maybe, you know, continue with the development of the game later, or in addition to that particular part of the game, because I don't want to just focus on just pathfinding, because it's not really that critical for the game, even though it'd be kind of nice. There's a couple of things actually that I would like to do here. Let me see if I can kind of show what I'm talking about. There we go. Okay, so the way that the game currently works, if you click anywhere on screen, the player moves toward it. Oh wait, hold on. Your streaming is having some mismatch. Okay, hold on, let me fix that. Aha. Okay, does that fix it? I might have to stop and restart the stream. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's correct. Sorry, I was working a little bit on my working a little bit with the Elgato Cam Link. On my computer, it's not working properly. It's basically something that takes an HDMI cable and allows you to record it. It's not working on my computer, so I was trying different things to basically test it out, and that's why OBS wasn't synced up properly. That's good. Everything's synced up. If not, let me know. All right. Yeah. So I guess that's something to. Just a small update. So I got this tool, this little dongle, this thing, which is actually really good. It's the Elgato Cam Link. It was like $100, and it does do 1080p 60 FPS recording through. Well, it does take the signal from the HDMI port and pass it through to your computer, where you can do 1080p 60 FPS recording, and it's really solid, except for the fact that for USB 2 ports, well, it's made for USB 3 ports, and USB 3 ports on my computer don't properly work, from what it seems like. It basically either the cam link isn't detected, or it's detected and records, but the audio cuts out periodically, like maybe once or twice a minute. Well, maybe once or twice every 20 seconds. It's not good. So what I did is I'm trying to see basically if there's something with my computer, or if it's just something with my USB 3 ports, which is definitely a possibility. None of the ports all the ports are basically the ones that came with the motherboard, essentially. So that might explain why the quality is not as high as it could be. So I got a USB 3 PCI card coming in that should help. And we'll see if that helps out. In the meantime, though, let's see if we can get something done with this. All right, so the way that this currently works, you click and the player moves in that direction. Now, pathfinding would be nice, but something else that would be nice is the ability to click on objects and interact with them. I feel like that would be the next most obvious thing. But the only downside to that is that basically in the current implementation, if you want to interact with an object for one, well, yeah, if you click on it, it would walk to it and interact with it. But the only downside is basically, if you want to use an item on an object, you can't do it easily. If we were to go through that system of like click on the object and it'll, you know, walk to it and interact with it. Because if you're, the way it works is basically, if you're standing like this, then you go to the inventory and use an item, it will basically... Never mind. It doesn't matter whether you're actually looking at the object or not. It just basically depends on whether you're in the location for the object. So for example, to put a book in this bookshelf, you have to stand here. You don't have to necessarily look at the bookshelf, but you have to stand here. If you want to use the key on this trapdoor, you have to stand here. So that works fine. The only downside is basically like, how do I make it so that if you click on it, he'll go to interact with it, but you still have the ability to pull up your inventory, essentially. Like this... Maybe clicking on an object will basically just move to that object, and then you still have to click on this to actually interact with it. That way you have a little bit of control over, like... Yeah, that might work. Because that way you don't have to, like, once you are close enough to the object where you can interact with it, he'll just stop moving. The hand will disappear. And then it's just a little bit better. That might work. So let me see if there's some way to basically do this. Basically makes that if you click on something, we know what you clicked on. So the way that I've implemented this... should be doable. Let's see. Now something pickable. Andre says if you have a hitbox on your object, on your character, you can just call the isCollide function, and when it's true, you stop the movement. Firstly, is there such a... I've never... isCollide? Do you mean is colliding, or... I'm not familiar with that function over here. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is such a function. Is collide? I'm not, or is colliding? I don't think there is such a function with a collision object 2D, but let's see. Oh, okay, it's not that specific function. It's just something like that. I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. You're not familiar with Godot. Okay. Yeah, Godot doesn't have like an easy method to say like, is this object colliding with this other object that quickly, where it's just like, hey, is it colliding? It's kind of like it has its own collision resolution system and collision checking. That's not just a function. It'd be nice if it was, because that's really straightforward. Just be like, hey, is it colliding? But unfortunately, that doesn't exist. But that's fine, because the way it works is the player will automatically recognize the object if he basically moves close enough and is looking at the object. So we already know basically like, oh, I'm looking at or getting ready to touch this object that I can interact with. So that's not the hard part. Not really. The hard part, in my estimation, is to basically be able to know what we click on. That's a little bit more difficult, because for one thing, they're different objects. here. So I guess what we need to do, let's start off with something simple. Let's take the bed and see if we can make it pickable. Now here's the other thing that is a little tough, is that basically when it comes to Godot, it's not that easy to tell, like, is something else colliding with something else. Like, you can tell internally, like, oh, wait a second. Harry Sarso says, send a ray towards the way you are moving, and then when it's colliding, stop moving. No, that's what we're doing already, so that's fine. I was gonna use this pickable function, or pickable feature, but this is really, as it explains here, is it? Yeah, a pickable object can detect the mouse pointer entering and leaving, and if the mouse is inside it, report input events. That sounds fine, except for the fact that basically this would require code running on all of our objects. We don't really want to do that because we just want to know what you clicked on. Making something pickable or not that's a lot to basically run on individual objects, to basically say, oh, I was clicked, or whatever the case is. We could do that, but the alternative that I'm thinking of is to instead get the physics 2D space and then check to see if something is colliding. That might be better, because basically we can see, okay, yeah, check whether a point is inside any shape. So we can just use the point of the mouse and then check to see what shapes it is inside. Basically the same thing as pickable, except it's a little bit more generic and it doesn't require anything specific, like, you know, making something pickable or anything like that. So let's try that. Let's see if we can get that to work. Okay, so we got the click position. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna try this. Space equals, I think it's get tree dot, no, wait, get node root dot world 2D dot direct space state, and then we want to get intersect point. Okay, print space dot intersect point, click position, collide with bodies true, collide with areas false. Okay, let's see if this works. So, and this will actually do like this. Bodies equals print bodies. Okay, let's see if that works. So that might be enough to basically have it so that when we click, it'll let us know if we touched anything. Click. Oh, whoops. It's supposed to be click position like that. All right, there we go. Nothing. Collided with something. Collided with nothing. Clicked on the player. Alright, so this actually pardon me, this actually is working. So let's see if we can kind of finagle this a little bit more. So the first body is going to be the one that we're interested in, whichever one's on top of the stack. There should only really be one object that you can click on at any given position, essentially. Well, the first valid body, we'll say, because maybe the player is kind of overlapping it. Things like that can happen theoretically, I guess. No, they couldn't. Never mind. I don't think that's actually possible, so that's fine. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab the first body. Wait, no. If length bodies is greater than 0, and bodies 0 dot has child, or get node npc brain So this should let us know basically if we click on something that is an NPC. Whoops, get node. I didn't like that. What's the actual? What get node is a thing? Bodies 0. Oh, it's a dictionary. Oh, I see. If bodies... Collider? Is that what it was? Intersect point... Collider, yeah. Collider. So the first entry's collider value. Okay, let's see. Object can't provide a length. And length bodies. Okay, so if length bodies is greater than 0 and bodies 0 collider. Okay, let's see that. Alright, well it works with the bed, it doesn't work with the other objects. I'm not sure why. It works with the bookshelf. Oh, it's because they have brains that aren't called NPC brain. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so then what we want to do is say if length bodies is greater than 0, NPC equals bodies 0. Well, let's do it like this. For body and bodies, body collider, if shape dot, let's see, child and shape dot get children, if child is NPC brain. Alright, so that might work. Let's see. Alright, so it's working. Cool. So this tells us what we clicked on. So now, with this information, our click body is null, or click NPC. NPC is null. Clicked NPC equals shape. Cool. Now when we go over here, brain, NPC. Brain, child node. Brain for child node. If child node, wait. Raycast 2D.get collider dot if raycast 2D.get collider dot raycast 2D dot get collider dot equal to MPC clicked MPC. All right, I think that'll work. Let's see. Cool, so it kind of works. There's a couple things here. Let's see. So you click on the object. ABC. Position equals null. Wait. This is a good start, I feel like. Pratico says, first time here, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you very much for stopping by, and hello, Pratico. How are you doing today? Let's see. So this is working. The only thing is that when you click away, it doesn't... Like, it's still... Okay, I know exactly... I'm pretty sure I know exactly what's going on. It's basically, when you click the NPC... it sets click position to be 0 or to be null because you're facing it, but then when you click away, it still sets to be null. Right, okay. That might fix it. Let's try this. Just that is actually nice. What I'll do next is make it so that if, let's see, if we click a yeah, if we click a body, I want it to be where it basically points to not the position. Where does it even get the position? Yeah, instead I want it to be the actual body's position. Let's see how that goes. Oh, okay, click position. Yeah, it should be this. So actually, let's do it like this. So we'll keep that. Instead, we'll put it down here. Equals shape that position. There we go. Let's try that. not bad, not bad. Let's not do that. But Practico says, "Are you designing it for mobile?" Yep. Yeah, I'm designing it for mobile, which means that I'm trying to make it a little bit more comfortable to use it with the mouse, to use it with touches, via touches. It's not too bad, but it's not perfect either. So it's I'm still working on it. Let's try a couple more things. If we can go to the player. Oops. Get slash. Let's see if this kind of works out. Okay. Again, not too bad, not too bad. So what we're going to do next is... if it's greater than this, say if quit MC is not equal to null, facing equals... facing equals clicked NPC dot position minus position dot normalized. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, this isn't quite right. For one thing, the players, the ray isn't very thick. It's just like it's a ray, so it's really easy to miss objects. Yeah. So we'll probably replace this, instead of a ray cast, we'll probably use an area to make it easier to like tell what you're colliding with. To make it easier. Okay, so let's do that. NPC check. So, let's see, raycast 2D. Okay, so I do use it here. So raycast, so instead, this is going to be NPC check dot position is facing times 14. NPC check. Now I recall that area 2D should be able to do what I need to do here, which is get overlapping bodies. Got it. Okay. So we don't even need that check. We can say for child node in NPC check dot get overlapping bodies. Body in for child node in body dot get children. Andrea says, you finally managed to find the method for checking collisions. Finally, yeah. Finally managed to find it. Okay, so this is pretty good, I think. Do we still use raycast anywhere? Nope. Alright, let's see how this goes. So it's working. Andrea says every engine has its own method, different methods, and it's horrible sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it's not fun to work with with collision stuff. So here we see a visualization of it. It's working actually pretty well. The only thing is that it's really far out. It's a huge distance, so we probably want to make that a little bit smaller. Let's make it facing times 8 instead. So it's just like it goes a little bit out of the way. Yeah. Cool. Now, facing times 8. Click position is not equal to null. Oh, I see. This is why this was down here. Well, that kind of works. Let's see, but it's not quite right. Oh, that's not right. Oh, sorry, that was someone at my door. That's you can see me probably won't go like, but that's someone at the door there. Not bad. Still kind of big though. Let's see if we can size it down a little bit from 8 to maybe just 4, and then also over here facing times 4 probably as well. So it's not so far out from the player's position. Alright, so I know why it's stopping early. That's because of this. Andrea says perfect. Nice. Yeah, it's getting close. It's almost there. It's just a little bit. It just needs a little bit of tweaking. Alright, so this is pretty good. I think I'm going to fix this a little bit because the bed is super easy to like not collide with or to check. The dresser is much more difficult to click on, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Let's head over to the bookshelf scene. Not the bookshelf. The dresser scene. Make this a little bit larger. And move this up. Can we, yeah, snap 2 pixels, there we go. Alright, that should help. And then the clock as well. Something like that anyway. Alright, well this is a good start. I have to test this out in other areas to see how effective it's going to be, but it seems like it's a good start for now. Cool. So I'm going to save this. So I have to figure out if I might not actually end up doing A-star pathfinding after all, because this feels okay, and it's not really that big of a... wait a second. It's not really that large of a scene and of a screen where it's like you would really have a hard time clicking around. This is better. It's better. It's an improvement. It's an improvement. Yeah, so it's not too much of a difference. I think it's pretty good. And like I don't need 8-star pathfinding. I don't think that heavily, so it should be okay. No says, when do you think there will be a demo for us to play? Not sure. Maybe. Maybe right now? I guess, yeah. Let's... It's not done, but I mean, like... Actually, can you exit the first... Can you get out of here? I don't know if you can get out of here. I think the exit might not actually work. Yeah, it doesn't. All right. Well, maybe the next stream or the following stream, I'll make a demo. The process of exporting the game from Godot into an executable is pretty straightforward. I'll kind of demonstrate here. You go to the editor. You make sure that you have your export templates installed, and then after that, project export, I believe, and you set up your values. By default, this stuff is fine. 64-bit for Linux on is good for a 64-bit system. Otherwise, 32-bit for a 32-bit system. Lchip says hello. Hello, Lchip. How are you feeling today? And then I also had to export this non-resource file as well in my project because .events are, those are the event files that basically determine when you interact with an NPC what happens. And that's basically it. So you say, okay, I want to export the project. You overwrite it. Or in this case, I'm overwriting it. But yeah, you export it. It stores everything, and that's it. And then you can go over here, and you can run it. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. Like, it's actually really easy to export stuff from what I'm seeing here with Godot, as it should be. It should be absolutely just simple, super simple, and it's great to see that it actually is. So yeah, even for Android, it's pretty straightforward. And yeah, so maybe in the next stream or the following one, or in the near future, in the next couple of streams, I'll be able to export it as a demo, because I have enough content for a demo, I would say, for a general feeling of the game, but at the same time, it's not, I mean, it's not there yet. Like, it's a lot of the content is kind of hidden, it's kind of blocked off, so I have to work on it a little bit more, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good so far. Okay, so let's actually commit this, so we can move on. It's not. Oh, I'm sorry, Lchip. If you said hello, I'm not sure if I responded. So hello again. I'm not sure. I don't remember. If I did, hello. If I didn't, hello. But yeah, I just we're committing this to our source control so that if anything happens, we don't lose all of our progress, and we can also go back and kind of compare the changes we made. Let's see. Cool. Let me also push this. I always get that wrong. Cool. L Chip says you're really concentrated in this project. Yeah, I should be. This needs to be. I need to get this done. All right, so this is definitely shaping up. It's definitely looking pretty good. Let's see what we have else to do. So we have the park that we've been working on. It's definitely looking and feeling pretty good. I need to do something about that water. This water is less than satisfactory. Yeah. Cool. L Chip says, why not use a shader for the water? I mean, it doesn't really need to be that impressive visually. It just has to be water. I mean, like, I guess I could use a shader for the water, but like, how would it look? Like, I can't really imagine. Okay, let's see. That might work, actually. Harry Sarso says, maybe have another transparent animation on top of the water that's half the speed. That might work. Now I'm looking over some GLSL water shaders. I guess what I'm looking for actually is not a water shader, like not so much a water shader like this, but something that draws water. I can't think of what it's called, like the suds. Like if you look at like Wind Waker, like Wind Waker's water, like this, something that draws this. That would probably look better than this animated water thing. That's basically what I'm trying to do. It just doesn't look as good. But that kind of thing. Harry Sarso says edge detection. Yeah, well, I don't need edge detection that hard because I have fixed tiles that I'm working with. I guess maybe I could work with edge detection, but I feel like more so than that, I want like this. This, I can't think of I don't know what it's called, but that water, the style of water. I can't think of what it's. Let's see, water. Liam S says, "Hi-oh, hello. How are you feeling today?" This might be what I'm looking for. Classic. I thought I remember them talking a little bit about the water in this. Let's see. This animated wave. No, it's not talking about the wave. Well, let's see. First wave foam scroll left. First wave foam scroll right. Harry Sarso says, just simple tune water effect. Blue with animated purlin noise of white. Purlin noise? Is that what it is? Let's see. And Ivan Soldano says, hi, maybe try adding raindrop ripples. There are raindrop ripples. Already. Maybe so. Maybe this would work. Because if you take this, this is just, well, I don't know if this is actually classified as purlin noise, maybe? It just looks like clouds, but let's see if this is what it is. Book of Shaders, Fractal, Brownian Motion. I'm not sure why this is animating, but that's fine. Let's see. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that definitely does look like water. Okay. So maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll actually do this. Let's see if we can kind of work with this then. So if we start off, let's see. So this is the random function. So let's see if we can kind of smush this around a little bit. So what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and go to the water real quick. Where's it at? And we're gonna go ahead and just get rid of it entirely, essentially, because we already committed it to Git to our repository, so I guess we don't really need that much else. Let's see. No says you could try to mix 2D and 3D. That would be cool for this game. Could be cool. That could kind of be cool. Liam S says 2D pixel art until final level, then high-res 3D. And Harry Sarso says the image on the bottom represented what I meant. Yeah, that does look pretty good. That does look pretty good. So I'll see if I can kind of get a similar outcome. and it does start with the randomness. So let's see if we can kind of smush it around. We're gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna make another polygon 2D. Well, I guess we don't really need to do that, do we? Yeah, we'll just do it like this. Let's get rid of the texture. And start off with this. We're going to give it a shader material. It'll be a new shader. And this is where we start. Okay. I don't remember how to do this. Let me see. Shader type. Andrea says, Phantom Breaker Battleground is a 2D game inside a 3D world made in Unreal Engine 4. If you want to try it, it's a beat 'em up game. Really? That was Unreal? That is highly surprising. Harry says, I don't know if this is helpful. No, I think it's kind of helpful. It's a good start. I just have to kind of squeeze out a little bit more of it, I guess. But then again, I mean, that is kind of a lot to go through just for water. I mean, like, I don't doubt the ability, like, I don't doubt that it could be a good effect. I just doubt that it will perform that well, considering, well, maybe it will. Let's see. Harry Sarso says the website he linked. Yeah, that was helpful. That was helpful. Thank you. It's just I have to start this shader off first. And this is kind of where, well, this is weird. I'm not sure why the albedo isn't. The shader, there is a shader, there is a material, there is a shader assigned to it. Is it not the albedo map I'm thinking of? Let's see. That works. Okay. Yeah, for some reason it's not applying to this polygon. Let me take a quick look at Godot here. Yeah, I can't seem to find anything about it. Like what I'm seeing here is not matching the preview, which is strange. It seems like it's not really applying to the polygon, even though the polygon should, as far as I know, take the shader. Oh, I see. So you have to change. You have to change the shader type according to what the actual material is. I see. What was it before? What did I set it to? Spatial. Oh, it's because it was 3D. Okay, got it. So yeah, Canvas item is because it's 2D. I see. Thank you guys. All right. So then let's see if we can kind of walk through this, stumble and bumble through this as best as we can. So we want to go ahead and grab this random function. And then let's see. So that works as expected. Okay, so noise. I'm just gonna copy this. UV. Is that not the constant for UV? Frag chords. Well, it's definitely something. So now what we want to do is kind of clip it off so that it's just one color essentially. Like there's no other colors. It's just white and black essentially. I might be able to do something like this. It does not tell me anything about what step does. B I is less than A, 0 than 1. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just gonna do this. Even though I know it's incredibly inefficient. Alright, better. Steppa, yo, how's it going? Daniel Gomes says caustics. The water animation is called caustics. Inside Blender is made by a Voronoi texture. Right, exactly. Sounds about right. Plus time, black and white, just remove blue plus. Well, I don't want it to be just black and white. I'm trying to. I mean, I guess I can make it black and white, but blue's gonna be there. The blue is the background color of the water. Alright, so this is definitely something. Let's see, plus time. plus time. Alright, I'm getting there. I think what I might be able to do is something like this. Whew. Well, that definitely looks like something. It's getting better and better as I work on it. Let's see. I think maybe... maybe something like that. Increases to 9.5 to get thinner lines. Do you mean like this? Oh, I think I know what I need to do. I need to probably say int minus equal 1. Or wait, divided by 2. Right, that makes it blown out. We don't want to do that because we don't want to lose any data. So maybe we can... think I'm like getting closer and closer to what it should be like. Let's try this for now. Alright. Alright, not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's see. What we want to do next is kind of blend this a little bit better. Let's pull up Ace. Oops. There we go, Ace Sprite. Fix those tiles. And then also we want to fix this to be more accurate to the color. So let's see. Maxi Paxi Taxi says, "Hey, I'm at the airport right now. Hello. Thanks for stopping by, even though you're on your way somewhere else." Always nice to see people stopping by from time to time. Alright, I'm going to do this all in here just to make it kind of easy on myself. So let's pull up Ace Sprite one more time actually. Go over to the tile set, grab this color here. That's the color. 2018-29, okay. Alright, better. Now we just need to kind of map to the camera. Harry also says, I'm not sure the second noise is actually necessary. It does add a little bit, because without that second noise, it doesn't animate properly. It just scrolls. The second noise is what gives it the feeling of animation, of actually, like, waves. Let's see, it'd be nice if I could, like, tint this a little bit, so let's do this. Just a tad. Let's see if we can also, we need to map this to the camera, essentially, so that, like, when I do this, it actually animates a little bit. So let's see if there's such a thing for this. Is it GL position of the vertex? Doesn't seem like it's. Let's see. Vertex. Unknown identifier. Vertex. This is strange. I thought it said it does recognize vertex. Position of vertex, output from vertex shader. Well, this is the problem then. Liam S says you can't access vertex in a fragment shader. I don't think vertex might be read only. That's strange because like, how do I get this animation essentially to be mapped to the actual plane instead of just being a view into it? All right, let's do this. Yeah, it definitely does not recognize vertex. What other options do I have? Vertex. Liam S says you could have a uniform specified in camera position and use that as an offset in the noise function. I'd rather not. Well, not really rather not, but I'd rather not if possible, if there's another way around this. I'm not sure if there is, though. Okay. So I'm looking here and I'm not seeing any information on this, even though I'm pretty sure it should definitely exist. Hold on. Doesn't know about this. What is this? How I'm writing this just this is strange. Is this only for 3D, I guess? Okay, so I guess vertex for whatever reason can't be read from if it's not a 3D mesh, if it's not a spatial. I'm not sure why, and it doesn't mention that, I don't think, in the docs. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Chip says UV instead of frag chord is, what am I using currently? Let's see. It seems like UV is just not anything. UV doesn't seem to exist, I guess. But the UV constant doesn't seem to exist. For smaller quads, use UV. Alright, so this is what I'm looking at, in addition to some other things. It basically says use frag chord for full screen quads, but for smaller quads use UV. They're not uniforms, so they are not editable from the main program. This doesn't seem to be working really either, though. Liam S says UV is probably spatial only. Yeah, it might be. It'd be nice if this was documented considerably more. If it is spatial, if there are variables that are spatial only or canvas item only, it needs to be documented naturally, and that would be good to have here. Alright, well, unfortunately I might just have to do this the bad way. Which is to pass in a uniform of the camera's position, which is just like, you shouldn't have to do that. Alright, well, I can't really do much more than this at the moment, so we'll just have to do this manually. Set uniforms in the editor in the material. Let's see. No, you can't. Oh, maybe if I actually write the uniform here. Let's see. There we go, okay. Alright, so then it's going to be plus X. Oh, wait. Okay, so let's see if we can actually get this to work then. So we're gonna go over here. Well, let's do this in a script for the water, I guess. No, because the water's in there. So if we go to the map, it should exist. Yeah. Okay. So process if water is null, water dot material dot shader param. Get shader param. Set shader param. Okay. In order to get the world space coordinates of a vertex, you have to pass in a custom uniform like so. You're reading that from the documentation? You're Liam S. You're quoting it, so I imagine that you're reading it from the doc somewhere. Get global transform. Mariano Sulugoy, welcome. Hello. I'm just going to do it this way, I guess. All in the link above. There's no link. Do you mean the documentation that I've been reading from? Ivan Soldano says try something like color equals texture and UV. I tried UV already. It's not a texture that we're reading from. Code orbit, because we're doing it manually. We're like rendering things manually using math. There's no texture really involved. Code Orb says greetings from South Sudan. I'll go off topic here, but I am new to Godot, and I was wondering if the scripting system incurs a huge performance overhead. No, well, yes. Like, if you want to do stuff like loop over data in Godot in GDScript, it's not good performance-wise, from what I'm seeing. I might be wrong, to test it yourself, but if you're trying to do like, oh, you know, I want to loop through 500 objects, like 500, like data, 500 positions in an array, and test those against the other remaining 499, it will kill your FPS, from what I'm seeing. And that's not really that uncommon, nor is that really that heavy. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, but yes, please test it yourself. Liam S says in debug mode it's interpreted, so it is pretty bad, but apparently not in release. I don't know about that. If it's a big deal only in debug, that's still a big deal because that kills your productivity. So like if there's a GitHub issue for this, for the relative execution speed for GD script, like I need to find it and comment like, hey, please do something about this, because it's not nearly acceptable. Like, it's just the speed is bad, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, something's got to be done, because if it is as slow as it seems like it is, then it really is. Like, it needs to be resolved ASAP. Let's see. So this isn't working. What I'm thinking is that maybe I have to type this instead of the actual variable name. Nope. Okay, so this does exist. This is what I'm typing in, but that's not what this is. What? So I'm plugging in 23.22 here. I'm getting the shader parameter. Is it not being saved, or? Okay, that's being saved. So this is working. So is the camera's position not moving? Alright, let's see. Print camera dot position. Is that just not? The camera's position isn't moving? Is it like an offset or something? Let's see. Is it this? It's probably that. Let's try this. All right, it's kind of working. We just have to fix this. It's not really working. I think it's because maybe we have to get the camera, like get camera screen center, maybe. It's weird. The Y position is correct, but not the X. All right. That's as good as we're gonna get it, I think. that. Let's see. All right, this is better. It's kind of shaping up here. Let's see if we can kind of make it just a little bit better. Let's see, 64. I want it to be smaller. Nope, that's wrong direction. All right, it's definitely getting better and better. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to be insane and try to implement some reflection. I'm gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna turn out, but I'm gonna try. Let's see. I know that there's like a frame buffer thing. Let's see. What's it called? Back buffer copy. Copies a region of the screen or the whole screen to a buffer so it can be accessed with screen texture in the texture function. Okay, let's see if we can put that in the water then. Viewport. How will this work? Let me see. So essentially, let me pull it up in tiled actually, because that's a little easier to visualize it in. Okay, so if we wanted to do some sort of reflection, it needs to essentially take this stuff up here and flip it. Is that even feasible? I mean, like, that's the theory behind it, but the thing is, the water's not at a consistent point, so it needs to do it like here. It might not be really feasible. I'll have to think about it. I gotta think about it. It's a cool idea, but I just don't know how I would even begin to really do it, because basically it needs to grab like this part down and this part down and this part down. Like, it needs to grab just what's above the water. It can't just make a flip of the screen. Because if it did, if I was up here, then I would appear down here. I need to appear... Well, actually, I guess that's right. Whoops. I guess that's right, that if I was up here, I would appear down here. It just needs to be, like, faded out according to the distance. Okay. Alright, I think I have a theory. Yeah, Liam S says, what if you got the screen texture, flipped it, and the alpha decreases as it goes down, then it wouldn't appear anymore. I think you're right. I think that's exactly what I need to do. And since we both came up with the idea at the same time, we'll say it's feasible. Let's see if we can get it to work. Let's see if we can get it to work. Alright, so the back buffer copy is here. I'm going to see if I can grab it from here. Do I have to do any scripting to do this, or is it just automatic? I think I have to do some scripting. Okay, so that's unfortunate. So maybe this will move to the water object. It'll set its own shader parameter and then also grab the camera screen center. It will then also pass the back buffer copy. Let me look up back buffer copy to see what it is. Copies a region of the screen to a buffer. Use screen texture in the texture function to access the buffer. I mean, I don't get it. So the region defined in the back buffer copy node is bufferized with the content of the screen it covers, or the entire screen according to the copy mode set. Use screen texture in the texture function. What texture function? Color equals texture LOD screen texture screen UV. What? Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, it's not. I can't find it that way. Let me see. I think that's a shading language function texture. Let me see. Read a custom mip map. Do I need the LOD, or can I just use texture? Float bias. But like, where does it grab the... where does it grab? Like, how does it know which buffer to grab? Like, how does it know to grab this one as opposed to any other one? I guess is my question. Texture gets the pixel from texture data and a coordinate. Not sure what LOD does, but it's in the docs. Okay, so I don't think I have to use LOD because that's I think if you want to grab like a different map level, it's for map mapping. I think we should be fine with just this. Let's see. Flip it. Yeah, I don't think it's grabbing. It's not grabbing it, which is fine in theory. I just don't get how I'm supposed to get like. I don't get it. Screen texture. Screen position. Screen UV. Let me see if this is feasible. I don't think it's working. It's not grabbing the screen texture. Let's see. Texture, screen texture. Okay, so I think I'm on the right track with that. Texture, screen texture, and then screen position. Vec 2, screen UV. Float Y, base Y, minus Y. Hold up, my phone's buzzing like crazy. Let me see what's going on. Alright. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Yeah. Alright, so I think if I'm reading this correctly, it is correct. What I'm doing is just not grabbing the actual screen texture. I'm not sure if I even need a back buffer copy actually. Because I can just grab the screen texture, right? I don't need to actually grab the like do any extra stuff. The screen texture should be rendered by that point, I think. Okay, color equals screen texture, screen position UV. All right, let's try this. That's not working. Yeah, it's definitely not working. It's just not rendering anything. Hold on again. Something is... It's just my friends trying to video chat me on Instagram or something. Let me see. All right. Back to it. So I think I'm not sure exactly what's going on here because it definitely should be rendering this. Definitely should be rendering this, but it should be rendering something because I'm offsetting the screen position by half, like by half the screen, so I should be seeing like the left side of the screen over in the water essentially, but it's not doing anything. Oh, hold on, that's dark blue, right? Is it actually drawing something? Oh no. Screen UV, screen texture. It's not drawing anything. I'm almost there. Almost there. This is so close. Texture, screen texture. That's it, right? There's such a thing as screen texture. Screen reading shaders. Of UV. Oh, it says texture LOD must be used is because when Godot copies back a chunk of the screen, it also does an efficient separatable Gaussian blur to its bitmaps. I don't see. I mean, would that make that big of a difference? Let's see. Would that actually change things fundamentally? Unfortunately, I believe I'm going to have to sign off at some point. I'm almost there, but it's just not quite working. Is that an alpha color? No, it's not alpha. It's not alpha related. Color equals texture allowed, screen texture, screen pose 0.0. That's exactly what the documentation says should work. Alright, let's do this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the Z index super high so that it's over everything. Alright, I think it's working. Let's see. Oh, it's because it's so low. Low? Is that why? So it draws it first, so there's nothing there. Oh, well that's no good. Why is it so jank? Alright, let's see. So the screen position on the Y... Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so the screen position on the Y-axis goes from 0 to 1. So we flip it, and now it goes from 0 to -1, right? So that if we add 1, it goes from 1 to 0. Okay. So that should flip this. Okay. Cool. Now, how am I going to get this to work? I mean, it works, but it's because it has to be on a high Z index. If it's lower, then it won't work. So that's probably why it's not working. Is there any other way around this? Let's see. If a node uses the screen texture, the entire screen is copied to the back buffer before drawing that node. So maybe I need a back buffer somewhere in here to like copy everything to it, and then let's see. It can be instantiated between both spheres. It's close, but it's not quite working. Alright, so I think what we learned is that this will actually work. We just need to get rid of this, I guess. the z-index of the water just needs to be super high, which is not what we want. We can't really do anything with that. But this is basically exactly what we're looking for here in terms of core fundamental functionality. So according to this documentation, it says that basically the screen texture built in when first found in a node that is about to be drawn does a full screen copy to a back buffer. Subsequent nodes that use it in shaders will not have the screen copied for them because this ends up being inefficient. I completely don't get what this is referring to. Or I don't think I understand. I mean, I think I understand what it's trying to tell me, but I'm just not sure how to use it in this application, or if this is really what I even need. Do I need to do this? No, that doesn't help. Alright, so let me think about this. So I want the water to draw first, before anything else. But I want to use the texture from the previous frame, essentially. So every frame I want to store the texture, the screen texture, and then use it on the following frame. Okay, so there's a way to do this, I guess, and that is to grab the viewport. I think the viewport has a texture, right? Has like a get texture. Returns the viewport's texture. Nope. That due to the way OpenGL works, the resulting viewport texture is flipped vertically. Alright, so what we're gonna do have to do, we might have to pass in AHS says, doesn't it need to be a child of the back buffer copy node? Doesn't what need to be a child of the back buffer copy node? What I'm thinking is that we might just like get the texture of the viewport at the end of the like get the texture of the camera, the viewport, at the end. Right, Liam S says, get the screen from the previous frame. That's what I'm trying to do. I just don't know how to do it. Because we can get the viewport texture first, but in order to really like know that it's the end, it's the finished product, we'd have to basically make a node that is, I guess, on top of everything else that basically then gets the texture, right? All right, let's do this because I have no idea. I don't really know how to approach this, mainly because it's just Godot doing Godot things. I'm not familiar enough with Godot to really understand the pipeline here. So let's just do this. Polygon. We're gonna make a polygon 2D. and then we're just gonna save it. We're gonna give it a script. And then we're gonna say git node root dot get texture, I think. So there is a texture. So now if we can apply that texture to the polygon, we can at least see what it's doing. Alright, this is better. This is possible that this is what we want. And then text dot flip, what is it? What is it? How do we flip it? Text dot get data dot flip y. No. Flips the image vertically. I mean, like, flips the image vertically. So we flip the image. We're flipping the image, but I'm not sure if it's it doesn't seem like it's actually flipping, but I guess that's fine. It doesn't matter if it's actually flipping or not. We don't care if it actually flips or not, that's fine. Maybe this is working? Okay, so if we have the texture at this stage, let's do this. Let me make the tile map invisible real quick. I want to see if basically, if we set this to be like really far down below everything else, will it... Okay, so this actually does literally take a screenshot of the scene under this z index when we call this function. Okay, so this is actually like the correct thing. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is basically it. We'll leave it as a polygon at 2D, I guess. This is capture. So this is capturing the screen. I can't rename this file for some reason. Alright. Close. Alright, so it's capturing the screen. Now we want to pass this data to the water. Harry Sarso says, you're creating a mask? No, it's not a mask. I'm just trying to get the screen data so that I can invert it in the water. It'll look pretty cool once it's done, I think. I just need to actually do it. But this is where it gets tough. So get node water. Let's see, get node water. Get node water. Dot. We need a uniform here. Set for 2D. Let's see, is there anything about this particular process? Nope. Okay. Let's see, screen texture. Okay, so uniform. All right, so this will take it directly. Okay, so it takes it directly. Okay, so then we can just pass in to screen text. Thank goodness. We can just pass in the screen text. Set. What is it? Set shader param screen text. Alright, now if we go to the water, let's see if we can just do this. Color equals texture screen text. Shoot, screen UV, maybe that'll work. Oh wait, what did I? It's supposed to get, yeah, that material. That's the polygon. I can't tell if it's working or not. This. Oops. How do I know that it's actually passing the texture? I mean, like if I just do this, does that actually work? I mean, it won't work, but like, will it give me an error? No, it won't. But it's white though, so that means that this is actually getting the image, I think. It's black, that means that it is getting something. Screen position plus equal to 5. Screen text. Alright, I'm gonna try this. Let me make the water over everything again. Why does the water need to be over everything to do this? I'm almost there. It's just not working. Oh. That's why. Wait, no. That's not why. Well, okay, because we're not... Luke Johnson says, face reveal very epic. Yeah, I've been using cameras for the past few streams now. So I think what I need to do is... I need to copy the data from the texture. Possibly? Let's see, print text, get data. Like, the data from the texture. Alright, so I'm making a new image each time, which is good. So what I want to do is make an image each time, make a texture from that, and then pass that in, I think. Mariano Sulugoy says texture.create from image. I don't see any such function in image, and there's no such function in texture. From what I'm seeing here, create. Is it supposed to be a specific type of texture? Image texture? Okay. Create from image. Alright, so let me make sure I understand the concept here. So, everything draws, the water draws, it uses a texture it doesn't have access to, it's black. Everything else draws on top of the water, the tile map, the objects, then it gets the capture at the top. It creates a texture. And then passes that into the water object, the uniform. So that should work. It's just a matter of... Okay, right, okay, so... Image texture dot create from image text dot get data. Oh, I see. Alright, so these are new image textures, okay. Wait, create from image. Does that return? No, it doesn't. Not sure if I understand this, because this is create from image and create, but it doesn't return a new image texture. So you use this on an already existing image texture? It's weird. I'm not sure if I get that. Create from image overwrites the data. Weird. Austin Earl says, hey, ha, I finally got here on time. And right after work, too. Good way to relax after working is to watch SolarLune. Thank you very much for stopping by, but I'm almost done, actually. I've been streaming for a couple hours now. Sorry. sorry. It's currently almost 5 p.m. where I am. I've been streaming for 2 hours and nearly 40 minutes. So, I started early today, like 2 p.m. Luke Johnson says, wait, I thought I I Know Who I Am was in PDX or Golang or something. It was originally in Golang, but it's not anymore. I moved to Godot so I could have support for mobile devices too. Harry Sarso says, so it's more modify image and not create. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like confused, because it says create, and it says create a new image texture with width and height, and create a new image texture from an image, but it's not it's not a new image texture. You already have the image texture. Like you already instantiated it. It exists already, and then you're saying create from image. It really is like populate from image. The reference doesn't change. It's weird. Caleb Shaw says, hey, what's up? What's up? How's it going? Thank you very much for stopping by. Luke Johnson says, how long have you been making games? Quite a long time. Like 10 years, something like that. Mariano Silgoy says, is there any reason you cannot just use screen texture and screen UV? Because if I use screen texture, it's only going to take basically what the current texture has. The water draws before anything else. So if I use just screen texture, it's just going to be black. There's nothing else. The water texture has to draw under the tiles and every other object, because it has to draw first. It has to, be under everything. It works fine. It's just that Mariano Sugoi says reference changes because you are creating a new texture image every frame. That's what I'm trying to do. var copy, move declaration of copy outside. Nah, I'm trying to. Oh, I guess. Okay. I think I see what you mean. So. But I'm trying to, hold on. Oh! No way. Did that really make the difference? No, okay. That didn't make the difference. Okay, that's fine. All right, this is we're almost there. We're almost there. So I thought that this was like, I thought it had to be like, had to be. Do I have to do it this way? Can I just pass the texture itself? No? Okay. Alright, I have to do it this way. Alright. Cool. Well, whatever. It's working. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Now what I'm going to do... let's see. Mariano says, just saves memory. Also, you don't have to assign the texture every frame. You can move the set parameter to ready. Okay. All right. Cool. So I think that's roughly as good as we're gonna get it in terms of like positioning. That I don't really feel the need to do too much more than that. But I'll see if we can get something else to work with the waviness of the screen here. That's crazy, but that's not what we're going for. So this is sign. times 3.1415 times 3.1. Let's see if that gives a little bit of a wave. It should be times actually screen pose.y. Let's see if that makes a little bit of a difference. Whoops, that's not correct. It should be plus screen position.y. Maybe like that. Better. We're getting there. Alright, this is starting to get annoying. I need to actually do this right. Let me save the shader. Out. Water. Shader. We'll save this to objects. That's fine. Save it. Cool. Now we can go over here. I can do this from here. Where's the objects? Water shader. Here we go. Okay, so it does. Okay, so we got screen position equals screen movie plus screen position. What is going on here? Why is this? This is weird. I wish this would update real time, but it doesn't for some reason. What is... Dude, what is going on? It keeps like modifying my code when I save. It kicks. What is it? Okay, this isn't cool. That should be better. Oh, I know why. That's right. It's not updating. Alright, well, whatever. So, I think what I need to do is this times 10 or so. Some amount like this should be good. Better. Maybe not as strong. Let's see how this goes. Alright, and then we want it to be, let's see, minus 1.0 times 2. Maybe 2. No, wait, 1 minus 3 plus. That's not right, but that let's see. Okay, so how does this work? We want this to be flipped. So I guess we just want to flip just the upper half of it. So something like this might work. let's see, screen pose y is greater than 0 maybe? Let's see. Oh, is there an error? I feel like it's trying to tell me there's an error, that's why it's doing this, but it's not telling me what the error is. Let's see, so objects, water. Oh. Whatever, I think I'm not sure if this will even Alright, so I think I'm on the right track. I think I just have to say it's greater than 0.5, I think. Then it should only reflect the upper side of things. I think we're like right there. Liam S says color mix. You want to mix the color. Harry Sarso says the shore is moving away from itself. Yeah, trying to figure out the best way to do this because we can't just flip it like this. We want to flip it like this. Well, I think this is as good as I'm gonna get it in this space here, because I'm just like, I'm basically dead. Like there's so little like wiggle room here. Why does this not work? Let's see. Oh, okay. I think I know what this probably. I probably need to do this. I need to go to the capture. That might help. Expected for oh. That might help a little bit. Yeah. Nope. It's doing this. I'm not sure what this is, but I gotta fix it. This is, I think, the closest I'm gonna get. Harry Sarso says, maybe instead just create another layer under the water to replace the water and only reflect entities. No other actual reflections. Nah, it's gotta be the full thing, because otherwise you only get the player. Like, that's the only thing that would really be in front of it. Everything else would be not there. So it has to be the full thing. It's gonna be tough to get it to really look good, but I think it can look good. Just want to try this out. Node 2D. Load scenes objects. That's pretty good. Let's do one last thing, I guess. Well, I want to fix the water. It keeps doing this thing that I don't quite get, where it's like, I guess it's this. That break, like that shouldn't be there. Liam S says, I think you should fade alpha above the player because that straight line where the texture ends looks a little out of place. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to properly do that. I think... maybe it needs to be this. So, what we wanted to do is basically go from 0.5. Let's see. Wait, what was the problem before? So halfway up the, let's see. So it fades in. I think it does need to be 0. Double indie gradient instead of a longer gradient. I don't think it's supposed to, like, it's not, it doesn't really matter because it's not supposed to actually... Like you're never supposed to actually see anything up on this half of the screen, so there's no point in making the gradient go up here. Like that's, yeah, that there's nothing wrong with the current implementation of the reflection from what I'm seeing here. It's just that when we add it in with the existing water, we get this. And I'm not sure where it's really coming from. Alright, that's working, right? So then it just OBS doesn't like it when we add the reflection color on top. I just have to figure out what that's coming from, because it's not coming from, it seems like it's not coming from either of them individually, it's coming from them put together almost. Like if we look at just the reflection color, it's really not really there, I don't think. Like, that's fine, but then once we actually add in the rest of it, it doesn't look nearly as good. Let's see. So I guess it must be this. It's not there when it's just this, but once we actually add it in, this is there. Right, that's what we were doing before. So then we do want to disallow that on the upper side. Wait, why am I... What? Yeah, I don't... Okay, hold on. What am I doing here? What am I... Why is this white? Liam says, how long are you streaming? I'm trying to get this done and then I'm basically done. So until I get this done or something calls me away, which something might in a few minutes. Austin Earl says, wouldn't it be better if it was a circular gradient? Maybe. There's not supposed to be a gradient. The gradient is just to fade it in and out, but there's not supposed to be a visible gradient. Like, this isn't supposed to... There's not supposed to be a line here, essentially. A visible line. Okay, that's fine. So then... Okay, this is to darken it. Okay. I feel like what this is doing is, I think it's reflecting the water. I feel like it's reflecting the water inside this reflection texture, and that's what I'm seeing. That's the line I'm seeing. Is basically two water textures, because like there's like in the darkness there's no line there, but here there's a line. It's clearly there. But I don't know if I'm being insane or not. Yeah, okay. So it is copying the water too. It shouldn't do that. How do I avoid it? Yeah, it's not really possible. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this because I'm dying. This is as good as I'm gonna get it, I think. I think fading it in on the upside is... Gotta figure out how to do that. Oh, I'm gonna fade it. But yeah, it's reflecting the water texture. That's what it is. So I don't know. This isn't a very elegant solution. I'd like to make it nicer somehow. So I gotta figure that out. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Looks water-like. Looks pretty good. And I think I'm just gonna call it a day here. Yeah, I'm done. This is it. I'm done. Thanks for stopping by. It's been real. It's been fun. I've been SolarLune. Hopefully I'll keep making this game and it'll turn out better and better as I continue. Thanks. If you want to support me, please check out the description, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later. Thank you very much for watching.